It's about 2 o'clock on August 21st, 2026, and I'm due for another update on this little yellow car of mine. Since the last real update, I have been to Mount Shasta, to the Roadster show there. Ended up going to Shed, something I hadn't planned on doing, but went to the Shed show and had a great time there with my son. And I've got one more big trip scheduled in October to go visit a friend in southern New Mexico. The car now has just over 12,000 miles on it. That's pretty good for, honestly, about 8 months worth of driving, probably closer to 6 months worth of driving. But I thought that I would give you a list of my current list of things that I have worked on since I got home and what I have left to do to continue to get this thing sorted out. So obviously when I came home I had to wash the car. It was filthy. Bugs throughout, and it cleans up pretty good. I keep up the ceramic and originally a wax-based polish, and it cleans up really quickly. I had to tidy up my ECU wiring up underneath the dash. And one thing that did go out on me during this last trip was the vent flap for the passenger side. Now this is the flap that gives you air down in your feet. The air will come through this entrance right here, and there's flaps on either side, and both the passenger and the driver can open those flaps with something else that I had to do was adjust this triangle flap tension. It was not strong enough so that you could open it up, but the wind would just push it back. And the advantage of these is twofold. One, they do give you some air inside the cabin, so you position it like that and air will flow into you. But also, they allow air to flow around you a little bit more, which helps with noise. So this was flimsy. It is now nice and sturdy. What I had to do was, looking on this side, take that door panel off, which involves also taking off the door handle and the window winder handle. And then there were 3 screws that had to come out for the triangle. Lifted it up, tightened things up, and put it all back together. A little tedious, but it is now fixed. Another list on my to-do was the glove box. Now you say, well, the glove box is done. Well, it is done, but I had put a lot of staples in here. And I'll take some of this stuff out. And if you look here now, you don't see the staples. What I did is I put some nice Teflon tape where the staples were, and no chance of getting cut anymore. Another thing on my to-do list was to take care of some rubbing on the passenger side door. And now opens and closes a lot easier, but I've always had a bit of a challenge with this bolt right here. It was rubbing and leaving a mark right there. You can see a little bit of it left, but the mark is most taken care of and it's been done by, I just took a file and shaved that head down. I had a similar problem with this screw right here, if you can see that. I shaved it down too. So now the door has very little resistance. It opens and closes a lot easier than before. Other things I did was some touch-up paint. My passenger, who will be unnamed and not blamed for this, when he put the soft top up, there's clips. You can see where the clips go right there on each side. They're metal clips, and if they are not attached properly, they will cause some damage. You can't see it now. You might see some residual of my poor paint work, but I did touch that up, and now it is clean. I also touched up various points throughout the car that needed a little bit of paint touch-up. Now let's go into the engine bay and show you some of the work that was done there. The only thing that really broke on this trip, that vent flap notwithstanding, was my brake switch, and that's that silver item you see right there. When there's pressure in the line, it will close those 2 wires and activate my brakes. It was Dave Witt. When I noticed that was the problem, we went to Napa and found a part, screwed it in, and it's did a temporary fix. I cleaned up some wiring when we got back. I've noticed a little bit more noise in the engine, so I cleaned the air filter. Honestly, didn't make a bit of difference. But when I did that, I also cleaned up the hose clamps just a little bit so it looks a little bit better. While we're on the subject of the engine bay, I have worked a fair amount on the cooling system prior to the last trip. And what I have now is a cap on the radiator. That cap is not pressurized. It's a Motorrad T3 for those that you want to know. And the pressurized radiator cap is over there on the expansion tank. I'm running 16 PSI for that. Now on my to-do list, first thing I'm going to do when it gets here is I'm going to add a brace for my brake master cylinder. And when that comes, I'll actually do a few other things too. Again, back to Dave Witt, he commented that my throttle and my brake pedals weren't very well aligned, so I'm going to do some work to try and make my brake just a little bit lower. So on my to-do list as well is, I don't know if you can see it, but down there's two holes that they stick out from the lower intake plenum. I'm going to shave those off so I get better access to the oil filter. I'm also going to reroute some fuel lines there in the way too. But getting the oil filter off of this is a bit of a pain, and after 12,000 miles, you can imagine I've done it a few times already. As I work on the brake lines, and there was a very, very slight leak right there around the brake switch, I will do a full flush. There's a chance that I fixed the leak when I replaced the switch. I'm waiting to see if that's the case, but it has been dry ever since I put the new piece in. Other items on the to-do list is a additional safety switch or latch or something for the trunk release, the hood release, and the trunk release actually. So I haven't put those in yet. It's a common, much recommended mod. It should be done sometime this year. Another to-do is this armrest here. Actually, the side of it is the original vinyl. The top was vinyl from 25 years ago. It's just not very nice. I want to rebuild that, get new vinyl, clean it up, make it pretty, and maybe even put a nice pad on there as well. As we move to the rear of the car, I have the Suzuki gas cap, which at one point I was going to put a rebuilt Roadster cap on. I have it, I just have to rebuild it. It's about 200 bucks. But this cap works so well, I may not ever change it. I did a boo-boo when I built this. I was in a hurry to put the gasket for the trunk, and I put it in on the wrong spot. So I'll show you what I did wrong. The gasket you'll see is on the body of the car. It should be up here. So if you're looking at my car as a standard, do not do this. Put it up there. I'm going to have to find a way to clean that up and put the gasket up there. Now why? What's the big deal? Well, what I have found is that water actually likes to stay in the grooves at the bottom. So my sense is that if you have the gasket on the top, the drainage of water when it rains, you wash it and whatnot, will be better. So again, one of my plethora of mistakes. Moving around up here, another mistake of mine is with the boot. I actually put 3 snaps to snap it against the back of the tray there. Those snaps never quite lined up, and the proper way is to actually use twisties, similar to what you see right there. There's a twisty. So I'm going to punch some holes and put twisties on there. In fact, there are even holes here in the back of the trunk. If you look, 1, 2, 3 small holes. That's what the twisties are for. So it's on my list to do. My floor mats, cheap little Amazon things. I don't know if you can see that, but they're already wearing pretty good. So I need me some better floor mats. There's a door rattle I've had since the beginning of time. I am 90% sure that rattle, it happens at certain RPMs, but the rattle is within the mechanism here. I'm gonna have to take the whole door apart to that. And the other thing is, when I was in Shed, had a great time in Shed, by the way. For those of you who haven't been there, just go. It is worth it. But when I was in Shed, I started looking at fog lights. And I'll close this, and I have to decide, do I want them? Go ahead and send me some comments. But I've always felt that my front end was just a little plain. And I took the bumper overrides off, so it's just a flat front end. But if you look here, I've got right there and right there some caps. That's where the fog lamps would go. And I found some nice examples of ones I could use. Kind of excited about it. I'm thinking about it, haven't pulled the trigger yet, but that's on one of my lists of things to do. So there you have it. The car performed extremely well on all of my drives. I am averaging roughly 30 miles to the gallon depending on speed and road conditions. I can get as good as 33 or 34 if I take it easy, which is really hard to do. It just drives like a dream, comfortably up to highway speeds plus. Eventually aerodynamics kick in and the lightweight, and it scares me. And that's what it comes down to, is it gets scary once you get at elevated speeds. Even going around corners, I don't know, maybe it's the combination of the lightweight car and the low to the ground, but when my son is driving, taking just a corner at moderate speeds, I'm sitting here holding on for dear life in the passenger seat, and I can't ever remember doing that with any other vehicle. It's crazy fun, crazy fast. I did get a chance to drive a turbo version of this car, which was even faster and crazier, but you know, this is good enough. It should dyno in the 140s. For a 2,000-pound car, I'm happy. So until next time, thanks for all your comments and your subscriptions, and I'll see you later.